In this video, I'm going to show you my 12-win run in Henrietta's Design Chaos mode, as well as give you some guidelines for the mode. You'll find timestamps and chapters for the deck itself, my leaderboard results, and every match will be labeled by opponent and deck type. Of course, you're looking at a quick look at the deck choices here. Also, Henrietta's Design is actually all tanks cost 1 energy point less, and Goth Kids actually have 50% plus HP. So along with that, don't forget that Henrietta is actually going to be your 13th card for the Chaos mode. So don't freak out if you don't see her anywhere. You're not going to be able to until you actually rotate her into your hand. Okay guys, we're going to use this first match to illustrate the importance of a few guidelines, but definitely check out the rest of the matches because I went up against some pretty tough opponents. I actually won't have time to voice the 12 matches, but I have a feeling you're going to get value out of this either way. Okay, so a very important one for this Chaos mode is going to be slow rolling your deck. You want to move as slow as possible, and this is a perfect way to do it if you get Zen in your starting hand. Now, I kind of rotated into all 4 of the Goths, which is fantastic. We're definitely going to use that. But the important thing here is that we keep to our side of the field as much as possible until we start to or need to begin overwhelming the opponent, which you'll see here in a few. If you don't know what Henrietta does, obviously she's going to be bringing back any Goth that dies, and they're going to spawn right on top of her. So that's going to create a congested environment, guys. So I had a conversation with one of my teammates, and something that I believe is going to be super important is making sure that you mitigate that congestion from your part and from the part of the opponents, because they're also going to be using the Zen and things like Maxi and stuff like that. So when you use Zen, when you use Mary Jane Randy, that's going to be a problem. It's going to cause a huge problem for you if you have to kind of slide along units that are attacking you. So as you can see here, we definitely just came back and obliterated once we got our push going. But definitely don't lose sight of that slow play, because the slow play is 100% going to be key. And don't forget to mitigate that congestion, because again, you don't want to be sliding your units across enemy units that are going to be attacking you, and then they're trying to walk over to a Zen or walk over to a Mary Jane Randy plant, because that's going to be pretty detrimental. Okay, the next guideline I want you guys to think about is having Mysterion in your starting hand. If you have him in your starting hand, you want to play that card first. The idea behind this deck and this mode is to make sure that you basically are having much more energy and energy advantages than your opponent, because the sheer value that Henrietta is going to bring, every time she brings back a unit, you have to either do something about it, or you're not going to get value and your opponent is going to be further ahead on the energy train, right? So they're going to be able to bring out more units and take care of business, right? So the longer things like Mysterion regen and come back and add value for you, the better. So that's why we included cards like Pope, Call Girl, and Dark Angel Red begrudgingly, but that is the challenge. And as you can see here, we're getting hit with that Dwarf King Clyde to no avail. And you're gonna see the unit spawn right back on her, ready to go and assist her. So Mackie, I love Mackie in this mode, but there is simply no room, because the energy value is not there for the defense. And to that was a good game and a well played to Radical Commodore. Okay guys, don't forget to stick around for the rest of the guidelines. I'll let you know when there aren't any more. So guys, this match is actually going to illustrate a very, very important guideline for the challenge for the Chaos mode, and that is playing Henrietta and Michael together at the same time. The last thing you want is for an opponent to transmog or unholy combust your Henrietta, and then all of a sudden you can't do anything anymore. So here, in addition to that, we want to protect Henrietta, even though she's the one that's going to be taking, you know, those 8% cuts and damage. We want to mitigate all that damage and bring it over to Zen while she works her magic and continues to bring back units and add value to our push. Now we're also using that Mary Jane called in from Call Girl, right? And we're going to use the plant to keep more damage off of Henrietta. At the same time, as our energy's coming in, you know, we're ninjaing and then we're darring the ninja. That's going to be huge in this, guys. It's very, very, very hard to stop. So with Pope, you want to bring back high value things like that Mary Jane. You want to continue to, you know my constant piece of advice, right? Play to what your opponent is playing. So here we're kind of letting that diabetes walk a little bit, and we're gonna counter with the big unit because the big unit's gonna give us value. And actually, oops, the opponent unholy combusted the plant. So that's kind of the danger there as well, guys. Make sure you're not playing too quick, or things like that will happen to you as well. Now here we basically just come in and get the dub, but overall that was a good game and a well played to Gray Parakeet, and I love the Dumb and Dumber reference with the costume as well. Okay guys, more guideline here. It's going to be a little more into the match, but I do want to, you know, reiterate while we get to that point in the match. You really, really, really want value for everything you do. So that Call Girl is going to be super important. We get that Mysterion coming back in essentially for free now, and it looked like a bad hand to start, but we rotate into the Pope. So can you guess what we're going to do next? You know, with Call Girl being there in front of everything there. Actually, here's the guideline right here. You know, make sure that you choose your power bind targets correctly. And for the most part, I would save that power bind for Mary Jane, because what we talked about with the other guidelines, right? You don't want to be moving across attacking units. But be on the lookout as well. Kind of how I started talking. Be on the lookout as well for a Pope into a Call Girl situation. Because that's going to give you tremendous value, right? So here, we're going to continue. Our Henrietta kind of got away from us, but that's okay. We're kind of busting through everything here. We're going to be able to take the bar here eventually. Now we want to reinforce the slow units that are moving across midline. Almost had the bar there. And right here I'm trying to really get the value. So again, we've got a Zen working, and then we're soon going to have that Mary Jane Randy plant working as well when Zen is not working. So we're getting damage off from key units like Maxi. Maxi. He's going to be particularly scary in this, guys, as you have already seen if you've been listening to all the guidelines so far. You know, for 5 cost, and then you can dar him back, and then the Henrietta value, and then the Call Girl value. You guys should should have a pretty easy time with this deck. Yeah, guys, so I think that that's gonna be all the guidelines here. Please make sure to watch the rest of the matches if you suspect you're gonna have a problem with you know, for example, maybe a fantasy superhero deck or something. Look for one, you know, look for one in the timestamps. Watch the matches, bros. Not only does it help you out, but it helps me out. Get me to my watch time requirements. Of course, if you liked what you saw today, please make sure to hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe and leave me a comment and let me know what you thought. Of course, the other thing that timestamps are going to have is that leaderboard placement. But if you don't know, I did get a 12-win, 1-loss run here, and the loss was kind of booty because it was misplays on my part. I definitely could have won the match, but I did some definite dar misplays, so whoopsies. But you'll be able to see that as well and kind of laugh at me, and it's okay. You know, I always tell people you can't take the dubs if you don't take the L's, right? So guys, it's been an absolute pleasure giving you a deck for this mode. You're gonna see some very, very talented people that this deck basically cuts right through. So guys, with that, I will see you guys later, and for that next time, make sure you get good.